Hello. Today I'm going to talk about questions for sustainable development. Environmental issues are not just stories that we encounter in the news. They are realistic issues that are directly connected to our daily lives and the lives of future generations. This summer is so hot, isn't it?
Yes!
Yeah. It was so hot, and it's not just a problem for this year. Summer temperature and humidity will increase every year, and it's our job to stop or slow down these effects. So I'm going to talk about the power of questions and how can we use this in environmental problems. We need innovation when there's a hard problem, and innovation often starts with a simple question. And in fact, some of the most profound changes in history started not with grand plans, but with a simple, curious question. We need innovation when there's a hard problem, and innovation often starts with a simple question. So, questions are important, especially when you made a failure. I think this is the most important role of questions. It's a tool that makes failure to success. And one of the most famous examples of this comes from the story of the Post-it note. In the 1960s, Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was working on developing a super strong adhesive, but ended up making a much weaker one instead. He made a failure, but he didn't give up. Silver and his colleague Art Fry started asking different questions. What if this weak adhesive could be useful in some other way? They asked the right question and they got the right answer. This question eventually led to the innovation in the Post-it note. What seemed like a mistake turned into a massive success because the right question was asked. Questions help solve existing problems. Once we identify a problem, the next step is to find solutions, and here again, questions play a crucial role. In our daily lives, we can use the power of questions. Instead of passively accepting the status quo, we can challenge ourselves and others by asking, is there a more sustainable option? Whether it's in the products we buy, or the energy we consume, or the transportation we use, these questions can lead to more conscious decisions that collectively make a significant impact. In my case, I thought about ways to reduce environmental pollution. Environmental pollution is a really big issue for today. So I had a question, how can we reduce carbon emissions? We all know that carbon emissions are the main culprit of the environmental pollution. Since I'm eager to making Earth a better place to live in, I thought of some options to solve this problem. And one option was using artificial intelligence. I thought when we use artificial intelligence as data, it could alert people to be more careful. So I did a survey to find out people's perception of this. And from this survey, I knew that the accessibility of the analysis data of artificial intelligence is not good enough. So I had a conclusion that we should find a way to increase the accessibility of the analysis data of artificial intelligence. Let's look in plastic pollution for more example. This has been a pressing issue for a long time. And people thought sustainable materials can replace single-use plastics. So this led to innovations in sustainable materials like bioplastics made from plant-based sources. But as you may know, biodegradable plastics have lots of problems. We must also ask, how can we scale the production and distribution of sustainable alternatives to make them widely accessible and affordable? This question challenges us to not only develop new materials, but also the practical implementation on a global scale, ensuring that sustainable options can replace conventional plastics in everyday use. I think if we can't make a commercial biodegradable plastic or a complete replacement, the best way is just not using plastic. It may not be a satisfying answer, but it's the best way to go for sustainable development. Innovation is a process which is driven by continuous questioning. And looking ahead, the questions we ask today will shape the future we create. What kind of world do we want to live for the future generations? This is a profound question that underpins the concept of sustainable development. It encourages policymakers, businesses, and individuals to set long-term environmental goals and take actions that are mindful of future impacts. The world we will live will be created by us. We should keep asking ourselves to live in a better world. In conclusion, the power of questions is undeniable. Questions are a powerful tool in our quest to understand and solve environmental challenges. It's an essential tool in addressing some of the most pressing issues of our time, such as environmental challenges. In our quest to protect and sustain our planet, it is through questioning that we can identify the root causes of problems, explore innovative solutions, and plan for a more sustainable future. Questions help us to not only diagnose issues, but also to approach them creatively, considering all possible angles and outcomes. This process of inquiry is what drives the development of new materials, policies, and practices that can make a real difference. The power of a question lies in its ability to open new pathways for thought and action. We should keep asking ourselves if we want to develop. Thank you.